everyone, I'm Anita Rajpal from Adira Foundation and welcome to Let's Talk Period episode 4. So, through our podcast, we have been able to share some amazing insights about period poverty and the ways to destigmatize it through our conversation with amazing guests. And I'm super grateful to you to tune in and make this commitment to yourself to groom and learn these insights. And today we have a very special guest with us. So I remembered I had a seminar with her before a month, and we were 40, like in those 40 minutes, we were all glued with what the guest spoke with us. So indeed, she was a dynamic speaker. And it is my utmost pleasure to welcome you all and introduce you to Manisha Bhatti. So, Miss Manisha Bhatti is a CEO of Dream Hunt and has conducted innumerable trainings on corporate management, leadership, communication, having addressed more than 20,000 people. Her firm Dream Hunt are a recipient of multiple awards, including Best Training Institute and Best Educational Institute by MSME India. She's addressed many universities and companies and is being recognized by Femina, Aaj Tak News, Your Story Media House, and Women TV as one of the most dynamic speaker and entrepreneur in the business world. So thank you so much, ma'am, to join us. It really means a lot to us to have you here. How are you doing, ma'am?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vandita, for inviting me on such a beautiful topic, which is so near to my heart. So I'm really very excited, looking forward for interesting questions and a very nice interactive session for the audience as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. So I'd like to dive in with a very foundational question. So what led you to be an advocate of women's interest and feminism?
Me coming from a background, Vandita, in which I had to actually fight for my education. I had to fight for my first dream job. I had to fight for my right to when to get married and when not to get married. I had to fight for whom to get married and whom not to get married, that choice. And at the end, I also had to fight into my entrepreneurship journey. So always there was back to back, again and again, there were challenges that were coming my way. And that has always motivated me towards giving a try towards my dreams again and again. So that is my driving force, that I am a kind of rebellious person in this journey. And that is why, I've always been an advocate towards feminism.
That's amazing to know, ma'am. And as you shared like a glimpse of your history, it really moves us because it inspires us to have that rebel to stand against those unfair practices. So thank you to lead an example for all of us. Thank you.
Most welcome.
So what are your notions when it comes to women's health being victim of due to the negligence centered around periods? So women health suffering due to the negligence of periods.
I am very sure that this will sound a bit different, but I think women are responsible for the same. It is something where I have seen in my personal experience also, I've seen there are very less amount of men who are uncomfortable with this topic of periods. And when it comes to females, and it has come from those generations out there. It's not that the current generation females are doing to that extent, but yes, जो हमारी mothers होते हैं, जो grandmothers होते हैं, जो relatives वगैरह होते हैं, these ladies are not comfortable with this concept of periods. And that is what actually, shakes my mindset at like, no, this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong. If men to a certain extent are ready to accept it, why can't we? So I think we should take that own responsibility that first of all, we should accept it, that it is absolutely normal. And then we should start working towards the step as to how we can, climb the ladder of modernization, of education, of awareness of menstruation.
Wow. Ma'am, what you said amazed me because I really think that somewhere internalized misogyny is responsible for this. And you said it right. Many, like, there are very less males who are like not uncomfortable with this. Like even in our NPO, when we have awareness campaigns and when we let the males distribute sanitary napkin, there's generally a bit of hesitance that women show while taking it from them, and there's a hesitance from the males end as well to like make them understand about this taboo topic, but they've been doing an amazing job, needless to say. Yeah.
They are doing, yeah.
So, in many parts of the world, women are isolated while they are menstruating, considering it as good for their safety. So, what counter logic can be used to spread awareness against this practice?
I think it doesn't make any logic at all that just because you're having a menstruation, you need to sit in one corner of your house, or you're not allowed to get into the kitchen, or you're not allowed to visit temples. I
Hmm.
think this doesn't make any logic. And me reaching to a particular stage where I've given so many sessions, I've gone through so many research articles as well, in which I didn't find out ever such that just because of this reason, you should get into isolation.
Mhm.
So the answer to this is I don't find any logic to this, this concept of getting into isolation when you are into your cycles. I think, in fact, you should practice so many, aspects like Zumba here, then there is yoga, there is a certain kind of exercise, stretching and everything that you need to do for your mental stress to be absolutely free, because that is the phase of your life, of your month, like 2 to 3 days or 5 days or 7 days. That is a phase which is to relax, at the same time to get that kind of refreshing thoughts into your mind. I understand we have biologically as well, we have certain kind of irritation or mood swings, and all these have a reason behind it, right? Even doctors, scientists, and so many people have reasoned it out that why this is happening. But getting into isolation just because of you are into menstruation, I will never agree to that. And I think it doesn't make any sense.
I absolutely second that, ma'am. Like in Nepal, there's this practice where women are supposed to be isolated, and like many women even die during this practice. So it is that fatal, and now it is criminalized, but still this myth is prevalent in East Asia as well. So thanks to address it
And
with this.
to a certain extent, it is happening in India as well. It is
Oh
happening,
yes,
even
it
currently.
certainly is.
It is happening.
Yes, and it's a sign, but like awareness campaigns like what we perform, it does help to destigmatize it at a certain level.
Absolutely, it does.
Yes. So, ma'am, how do you think boys can be educated and made comfortable about periods, like from a very foundation phase? Let that be schooling.
I think more than schooling, the foundational stage is the parent stage, where both the parents come together and discuss with the child that, you know what, my boy, this is the stage and level of puberty where a particular body, be it a boy or a girl, goes through this phase, and it is absolutely normal and natural. And the scientific terms that you are going to learn in your science 1, science 2, whatever subjects that you're going to learn in your coming, going to come across these aspects. And we don't think this is abnormal, because of which you shouldn't crack jokes in schools or make the fun of your girl classmates just because she's going through a menstruation. This won't be maturity from your side. So I think the very first level is to teach your child, your boy, your son at home, and that is the job of the parents. Second is the job of the school to create an awareness in which boys and girls together are sitting and watching the entire, step by step flow of menstruation, and also to a certain extent puberty, as to what are the hormonal changes or the body pattern changes that are going to happen in your life in the coming few months or years. So I think these are the two aspects and two stages that boys should get education and awareness about.
So true, ma'am. Like many boys do not even know before losing their virginity that okay, there is this concept as periods, and and even girls, they do not know what is their periods before their first period. So yes, it's
Absolutely.
really important for that aspect to be inculcated in parenting. Yes, certainly.